Okay, so business role is a new concept which was introduced in GRC 10 and 10.1 onwards only. So earlier versions like 5.3 onwards, this concept was not there. If somebody had worked on earlier concepts 5.3, there was a concept called as role mapping. So this concept is similar to, almost it is equal but similar to role mapping concept. So in 5.3, if anybody has worked on that area, role mapping. So that is renamed as business role concept in 10 and 10.1. But there is some additional feature here which has been introduced. So let us go to, so first of all, definition of a business role. What exactly is the definition of a business role? I can define business role as group of technical roles belonging to different systems. So business role, it is a collection of technical roles. Technical roles, I mean, it could be single, composite, derived, master, or even Java related UME groups, and that belong to different systems actually. Clear everyone? So it is a collection of technical roles which belong to different systems. And business roles exist only in GRC system. GRC system in the sense that too in NWBC, not in the backend of GRC. Only they exist in the GRC, that is NWBC only. So if you compare this with a composite role is a collection of single roles only belonging to same system again. So here the difference would be, it could be single, it could be composite, it could be derived, master, or even Java groups also, and that too different systems. So in earlier version, as I told you, access control 5.3, this was similar to role mapping concept. Okay, now I'll take an example here for better understanding of business role. Okay, let us imagine I have a user. I have a user. Let us say he belongs to finance team. Yeah, the user finance team, and this particular user, these are the following systems in a landscape: ECC, BW, finance, HR, CRM, etc. So as ECC would be acting as a front-end system almost for, it is a common system where user logs in. User has to exist here with some roles. BW, if he needs access to some reports, he also needs to exist there. Some reports, financial reports data. And the finance system, because he be as a finance user, he should exist in finance. And he should also exist in HR system for his payroll and storing of other data, HR master data. Okay, so ECC is like general login where every user will have a login into ECC. So now this finance team, let us say that user is a finance accountant. So in finance accountant user. So this finance accountant user needs access to following systems. And some specific roles in that particular system. Say, for example, let us say he needs access to role 1, R1. So he needs access to different roles here. In ECC, he needs role 1. In BW, he needs role 2. In finance, he needs role 3. In HR, he needs role 4, etc. In this fashion, this is the requirement of finance accountant. Now a question for all of you. Suppose if end user is filling the form. When end user is filling the form, he'll go to my home. and he select access request. He will fill the data. Now coming to roles, generally users face bigger problem, always a regular problem in filling the roles. The first main doubt will come here as soon as the user logs in. What is the system name to be selected? This is again a question for them. What system name I should select? It looks like a new Latin for them because they don't understand a system, they don't understand application area, they do not understand something else. So as I told you, user needs access and he needs to select different roles of different systems, and he will log in into access form. So when he is filling the access form, as I told, there will be a big difficulty for him. Without any help, he cannot fill the form. Like selecting the system name and then role type. What he doesn't know what is exactly the role type. Sometimes single role, we need to tell him select the single role and then search for the roles. In real time, there will be n number of roles. Selecting from that n number of roles which are of technical type like this. The name would be of technical nature, like X, which is does not explain or which does not easily understandable by users, the technical names. So this is a big hurdle in the selection of the role. Sometimes they may do a mistake and they can select the wrong roles as well. So the result of that selecting a wrong roles will be the request get rejected. Clear everyone? So because of this hurdle, so what SAP has thought, let us introduce this concept of business role. So what happens is we will go and create a business role in the system with a normal layman words, just like this. So in this fashion, finance accountant, I'll be creating a role name with the same name, finance accountant. This is the fashion. So finance accountant, in this system ECC R1, ECC again R2, BW R3, finance R4, and enterprise portal G1. Enterprise portal also group is also there. Clear everyone so far? So this is what user needs access. Finance accountant user needs following access, and in every country finance accountant needs the same access. So every time whenever a finance accountant is submitting a request, he has to select the following roles, which is very difficult for him to select the proper roles and correct roles. So what we do is we create a business role with a name called finance accountant. Under that business role, we place like this: system and role ECC R1, ECC R2, BW R3, FI R4, EP G1. Now, when user is selecting the business roles, only the business role will be appearing in the form, but actually when it goes and gets created in the system, the auto provisioning happens and gets created in the system. These following roles gets assigned into the following systems. The user need not select the system name now, just he will select the business role name. If the business role name is not there, user has to select the system name also, in which system what role has to be assigned. But if business role concept is there, user need not select the business system name, because systems are included under the business role. Okay, let me create so that you'll get a better idea. A business role. So under you go business role is nothing but access management. Same under role maintenance, role management, role maintenance. Under that create, you have business role option here. Click on business role. Right. So fill the details, landscape. There is a problem here actually. The landscape should be also filled actually here. I think the BC set problem is there. Let me check. So why I have said this, let me show you that why I have got it out. Here, when you are creating a business role, application type is automatically filled business roles, correct? But landscape is not visible here. Landscape means nothing but it is a connector group concept. So you need to select the connector group here. So why the connector groups are not visible? Let us check that. And even if you remember yesterday, role import concept also, when you click on role import, here you have landscape, application type SAP, and then when you go to landscape, here it is visible, see here, landscape. So in the same fashion, here a landscape should be visible when you are creating the business role. So I think I'm guessing that could be the problem related to BC sets. Role methodology, prerequisite role status, role management landscape. This is the one. Business roles landscape. Check the logs, activation logs. Yes, there is no activation logs for this selection. So that is the reason. Activate it now. Continue. Activation ended with warning. So warning can be neglected, not a problem. Okay, now let us go and check that. Reopen that NWBC page. Access management. And role management, role maintenance, create business role. Yeah, this is what I'm expecting here. So application type as well as landscape both should be business roles here. So there is a BC set related to that. If it is not activated, you will not see this mandatory field. It will be empty and you cannot go and create the business roles here. Now, this is the normal process, business process basis. See how to select accordingly. Project release, then give a name to it. Or I will go to finance now. I don't have sub process here. Okay, let us give the name like this in this finance accountant. Now the most important, yes.
This is the landscape. How come business roles? Yeah, I was expecting like about these one.
No. This landscape is different actually. The BC set you have seen the name right. Role management
Okay.
landscape business That is a landscape related to role management.
Okay. So here we are not selecting any system landscape, right?
No, we are not selecting. This is not specific to system. This business role is not specific to
Okay,
system.
okay. So it is common for all the systems.
Yes, all the business roles will be common. This one, same will be there
Okay,
because the system there is no system importance here. I'll let you know
okay,
why. So now the important
okay,
field here is you need to fill the roles tab here. So under this business role, what all roles you need to include? Add. See here you will get the system name. Role search. See if I select this one, suppose bench. So here you are getting the ABAP group. So this role is specific to this system. So in the ABAP group, this role is selected. Like this, you can add systems of multiple landscapes. Role, for example, this is I have only one group here. All the roles belong to same group, but in reality, you will have roles of different groups. So you can add them like this. Multiple roles can be added. I don't have a provision to show you for multiple systems. So they will be visible. Just you need to select them here.
okay,
Here in reality, what we don't have the roles of different systems, right? We have only one system, so I cannot show you adding. So just when you click on add, all roles will be visible here, belonging to different
okay,
landscapes. You can select any
okay.
role. That could be a group, that could be a composite, that could be a master, derived, anything you can select,
Okay.
right? And one more advantage of
Yes.
this is business role is, as a whole, to this business role called as finance accountant, you can define approver now. So let us go to approvers tab, approvers, edit. Now for the entire business role, you can define only one approver. So this is better than defining for each and every role. Save and continue, save and continue, done. So it is now complete. The business role is ready. Just to check, do the checks. It should be methodology status should be complete. The current phase should be complete, and the other one, as I told you, additional details under provisioning. The role status should be production here. So now the data has been saved. When user is filling the access form currently, now he need not select the system name. Actually, not needed. You can remove the system name. Directly, role name is also not needed. Just a system role type is needed. Business role, search. So this is the way you find. So user simply selects the role. It is easy to select because it is a normal layman terms. He will submit the form. In the form also, it is visible as normal finance accountant role only. But under reality, what is the reality? Under this role, there are multiple roles. So while actually when approvals are done and the auto provisioning is done, the auto provisioning will be done as per the role, these roles like this. In ECC, role 1, role 2 gets assigned. In BW, R3 gets assigned. In finance, R4. In EP, G1 will be assigned. User even doesn't know that he is getting assigned with so many roles, because user will just log into enterprise portal, and then he will have access to different applications through enterprise portal. So this is enterprise portal, for example. and this enterprise portal is connected to multiple systems in the backend, and user exists in all the systems now. So let us talk about if it is ECC and then BW, HR, and let us say finance. So this enterprise portal is connected to in the backend. So user will log in from here, and within AP only he has different links, even related to GRC also. We can have a GRC also connected here. So he logins into EP and then he jumps into GRC or HR or ECC. So this is how it works. So user needs access in each and every system to access that particular application under EP. So if you ask him to select a different role in EP, ECC, BW, HR, user will be confused a lot. Clear everyone? Yeah, any doubts now so far? Business role concept. Business role is an additional task to us, but from end user point of view, if you think it will be user friendly concept regarding selection of roles, no confusion, clarity.
Sridhar,
Yeah.
actually, for example, we are saying that if we create one business role, for example, he can get this means ECC, means finance account, BBWHR, all the account, means combination of we are collecting one business role, right?
Yes, like this. So as I told you, this document.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yes, correct.
Hmm.
See, when the user is selecting the business role,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
that time, but he required only for EC system. So that time, yeah, how user can select in while filling the access form?
Correct. So suppose if user wants only in ECC, okay,
Yes,
that means that there is no EP. For example, he wants to directly log in into ECC and perform the activity. That depends on the client. So if the client is decided to go business roles, they will have only this concept, because every user has to follow this concept only. He has to log in into EP. Definitely he has to exist in all the systems, or at least if not in all systems, at least 2 to 3 systems he has to exist. So why he need to exist in GRC? To log in into GRC and to fill the access form. Why he needs to exist in
yes,
HR
correct.
system? So that he can access his payslip.
Yes,
Why
correct.
user then needs to exist in BW? He has to execute some reports in BW, check some reports. So only in this case of scenarios only we go for business role concept.
Okay.
Like the scenario what you told, or the example what you have taken, there the user need not exist in other systems. He doesn't have anything else in other systems. Then we don't need to follow the business role
Yes.
concept. Normal role concept you can follow.
Okay. And basically, many company they use business role in production system only. Development and quality they are not using it. Why?
See, end user exists in production only, right?
Yes, correct.
So no need
End
of
user means
creating them in development and quality. So according to user, so we have 4 types of users categories. For example, I have finance manager,
yes, correct.
and then I have finance accountant, I have finance clerk. So you need first you prepare the roles list, and then Put all the roles under this finance manager business role.
Okay.
So like this, there will be only 3 types of users in finance department.
Okay.
And the principle is you have to follow this principle: one user, one business role principle. One user, one business role. That's it. Simple principle. So one user will have access to only one business role. At a time, he cannot have access to 2 business roles. This would be easier, or it would be comfortable even for risk calculation also. So just you need to ensure in this business role level, there is no risk you have to check. You have to maintain such a way. There is no risk at the business role level. If there is no risk at the business role level, even user level also, there will be no risk. So your entire business will be the risk free now.
Okay.
Clear everyone? Any other doubts? Simple concept, but it is an additional duty to us, as I said. We create single, we create composite in the normal backend system development, and then derived, transport them to production, importing them to GRC is fine. If you have business role, an additional task has to be again created. You have to additionally create a business role again with these combining of single, composite, derived, etc. Clear?
Yeah, clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else before we go to next concept?
Siegel,
Yeah,
business roles can comprise of any type of role, right?
exactly.
I mean, there is
Anytime.
no restriction.
No restriction.
Okay.
Even a group is also allowed. Java group. Java roles and Java groups are also allowed to place under business role.
Okay. And business roles are only created usually for the end users, right? And not for the support users, right?
Even you can create support users also if required. For
For
example,
basis.
yeah, let us take security team, or let us take security team. The actual T codes, daily T codes we execute from security side are SU01, PFCG, all the T codes, correct?
Hmm.
And there is a T codes like SE16, SA38, SM36, SM37. So do they belong to security?
No, but we do use them.
No. My question,
They belong to basis. Hmm.
basis, correct? So what they do is, we'll create 2 types of roles. For example, let us say basis display role, okay? And then we have basis full access role, ABAP display. These are single roles I'm talking about. And then ABAP full access, development access. Similarly, security display role for other users. This role will be assigned to other users. For us, we will be taking care of full access, security full access. Now let us create a business role for security. Security business role. Tell me what roles it should consist of now.
Full access.
Basis display,
Security full access.
ABAP
ABAP display.
display, and then security full. Fine. This is the business role now.
Oh. Okay, perfect.
Similarly, you can create for all other teams also. So there will be only one role will be assigned to every team now.
So this concept is a little bit similar to composite rules, right? I mean,
See, composite is same
business
system,
role.
same system. This is different systems.
Yeah, correct. I mean, just the concept, similar
Yeah, yeah.
concept, right?
Grouping,
Contain.
grouping concept. Yes. Clear? Even for technical teams also we can implement this business role concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other doubts? Okay, right. So let's move ahead. Next concept, default role concept. So what exactly is a default role? Okay. There are some T codes in SAP like SU53, SU56, SU01D, and some
SM12.
T. Pardon?
SM12.
What is that SM12?
You can cancel the log entry.
Cancel log.
Can cancel
SM21 you are
log.
talking. SM12 or 21? 21 is system log, right?
No, not the system log. When
Logs.
user is
Okay, okay,
logged
okay.
in,
Yeah, yeah. SM12. So these T codes are such T codes can be assigned to any user in the organization. Correct?
yes, yes, correct.
So what we do is I'll combine them into one role. I'll group them as one role and let me comment that as a common role to be assigned to every user. Should be assigned to every user. Okay.
It's kind of universal role.
Yeah, universal role or common role could be assigned to any user. Now, while user is filling the access form, user has to select this role. Only then he will get the access to these T codes. Correct? That is one way.
Yes.
Or second way is you have to include these T codes into every single role so that every user gets access when the normal single roles are assigned to them. That is second way. Third way is put this common role under every business role. Correct? Three ways we can do it. So that is an additional task again. Instead of putting a separate, creating a role, separate role for the common T codes and including them again under the business roles is a additional task to us. So what I do is this common role is there. In each system I have one common role that can be assigned to any user. So that role I will declare as a default role. So when I declare as a default role in BRM concept, so the advantage of declaring a role as a default role is that role will be added to the access form by default even without user selection. Even if user does not select the role name, he will suppose a finance accountant user will select a finance accountant role. And then this person, this business common business role will get assigned to every by default. Getting my point? Suppose in this access form is filled, right? So while I was filling the access form, what I did, I just selected the finance accountant role. Okay. So what did I do here? Finance accountant, correct? So this common business role is there, right? Which is to be assigned, that automatically gets assigned in the access form. User is not selecting it. That gets assigned here and means it gets filled up in the form automatically. And that gets auto provisioned and gets assigned to the user in respective systems. Getting my point? This is actually a policy violation because without selection, without user requesting it, we should not assign any access. But some companies are following it.
Mostly when we create business role, we can include common role. That also is good.
Yeah, that is one way I'm telling, right? That is of one way.
Yeah, one way.
So the second method is, so that is the best method actually, because if you put that common role into every business role, user will anyhow select the business role. So that will be
Yeah.
a part of business role and he will get the access. That is not a policy violation because user is selecting the business role and he is getting the access. But if you implement the concept of default role concept, without user selection, this role is getting added and he is getting access, which is actually
Yes.
according to SOX principles, user is not selecting or requesting and you are giving access, which is a violation. Clear?
Yes. Clear.
Right.
Sridhar, one doubt.
Yeah.
Uh, can one business role contain another business role as well?
No.
No,
Just
no.
like a composite cannot be included into a composite,
Cannot have right, right.
same
Just
way here
wanted to
also.
confirm.
Yeah. Right. So default role is nothing but a generic or a common role which has to be assigned to every user. We can make this as a default role. So whenever user fills the access form, this role is added to the access form automatically and assigned to user when user is created. So to enable this
Uh,
default, yeah.
uh, Here, in this case of default role,
Hmm.
so it is understood that this role is a common role which needs to be given to every end user.
Correct.
But in case of audit, if at all they'll ask that this is policy violation, then what should be our answer to them?
That is what I told you, right? There are two choices. Include this common role into every business role.
Okay.
Then user will select the business role. We have a valid reason. User selected that business role. It is a part of business role. There is no policy violation. But if you keep it like this, separate as a business role, because of the audit issues only, I have seen many clients first implementing the default role concept. Because of the audit issue only, they have removed that, scrapped that concept of default role concept.
But SAP itself is supporting, right, or else it would not have default role concept in BRM.
See, if they want to use it and if auditing company, suppose KPMG wants to implement this default role concepts, it does say, who is going to audit them? PwC wants to implement this default role. Who is going to audit them? They do audit for themselves.
Okay.
So where there is no audit or they don't give importance to audit, they can go for this default role concept. But again, I told you, I am myself telling there is a disadvantage of this because it is an audit issue. User not selecting the form access and you are giving the access. Not requesting and you are giving access is always a violation.
Okay, Shikha.
Okay. Why we are discussing here is in interviews they can ask you this question. What do you mean by default role concept? How to enable it? So there is a parameter related to this 2009 parameter. So we need to go and make it yes. Consider default roles. We have to make it yes. And then go to this path, NWBC, access management, role management, under the default roles, define the default roles. So let us see the first. Where do you go and set up access management? Under role management, you have default roles here. The path is given in the document. When you click on default roles here, so click on create. Here one more option is given to you. Like based on some attributes, you can include the default. You can include the default roles. Like what do you mean by based on attribute? Like this. These are the attributes. If user belongs to, or if the user is filling the business process, or if user belongs to this project release. So these are the attributes. If in this system user is getting created, then this role has to be assigned. So if in this system user is getting created, so by default in this system this role has to be assigned. Search the role name and you are defining this as a default role. So you have one more choice is like all attributes. All attributes means irrespective of what attribute, every user will get this role in ECC. Or you can also restrict business default role based on the attribute. Like if user belongs to a company, user belongs to a landscape, user belongs to a location. So if he belongs to some North America location, this role has to be assigned. So like this you can define based on the attributes also. So system will ask you which location. We don't have locations here. Business process, then we'll ask you which business process. If user is a finance department guy, then assign this role in the ECC. So you don't want any restrictions to everybody you want, then the simple aspect is all attributes and then add this role names, whatever the role names you want to add it them. Clear everyone? So this is how enabling, but to consider the business role, default role or not, this is the path. Parameter. What is the path for parameter? SPRO, SAP reference IMG, access control, maintain configuration settings. Under this 2000, what is the parameter ID? 2009. It is not here. New entries. So search the parameter groups. So there is a separate group called access request default roles concept. Select that. Under that there is a parameter ID as 2009. Consider default roles. Clear everyone? Parameter value is yes. Save it. Already exists in the same key. So there is already existing, it seems. (2009) search here. 2009 here. It is no already. Okay. So we are discussing this for interview purpose. If they ask you, now you can question, you can answer. The parameter related to the business default roles, 2009 parameter. Where do you define the default roles? Under the path. Okay. Clear? So this is all about the BRM concept. And the two other concepts are there which are theoretical concepts. Nobody is using it, very rarely, or we can say 5% to 10% chances of using these concepts in every organization. So this is assignment for you. Just try to Google these answers and tell me in the next class. Role mining and role reaffirmation, or you can say roles reaffirmation and role mining. What exactly is the difference, or what is the definition of role mining and role reaffirmation? This is only a theoretical concept. Nothing is there to show you practically. Just a definition is enough. Just understand the definition. So Google it, search it, and know about it. Right. So any doubts before the closing the session today? And